The OSI stands for Open System Interconnection. That is a full form of OSI. So this is one of the model of networking. Transport layer. So this layer is concerned with the actual delivery and error checking in the data once it is arrived. What is session layer? So this layer is responsible to establish a connection between communication machines or devices. Dear students, welcome to CS classes. I am Ravi Kumar KR, lecturer in computer science, Vidhyaashram PU College, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. Let us start our discussion with the topic OSI reference model. In our previous session, we have learned the definition of networking and types of networking and network topologies. Now, in this session, we are going to talk about OSI reference model. So, in the next slide, what is ARPANET? So, this is ARPANET. So, what is ARPANET? The ARPANET stands for Advanced Research Project Agency Network. So, this is the full form of ARPANET. So, actually, what is ARPANET? It is one of the world's first networks developed by US Department of Defense, used by its projects at universities and research labs in the US. So, what is ARPANET? ARPANET is the first network developed by the Defense Department at US. So, they have developed this network for their projects. They want to work with the projects and they wanted to communicate with different universities and research laboratories. So, they have developed this type of network in the world. That is the first computer network. And it uses TCP/IP protocol, which would be the backbone of the internet today. Now we have internet, so our network, it is based on TCP/IP network, and ARPANET, they were using TCP/IP as their backbone. So ARPANET is the first network in the world for communication among different computers or different devices. So this is ARPANET. Next one is OSI reference model. The OSI stands for Open System Interconnection. That is a full form of OSI. So this is one of the model of networking. So first ARPANET was the world's first network, and OSI reference model, it is one of the network model where where communication is possible. So here it uses, this model divided into 7 different layers according to different functions. So in OSI reference model, or it is a 7-layer model, and each layer has its own functions. Now let us see what is it. This is OSI reference model, and here this is host A, this is one computer, and host B, this is another computer. So what is host A? This is a model, it has 7 layers. They are application layer, presentation layer, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and physical layer. See, these are all different layers of OSI reference model, and each model has its own function. This is the host, means a computer which is send the information, and this is host B. It is the receiver computer or the destination computer. So if there are 2 computers on the network, this is how it's going to work. And here the data is transmitted from physical layer through the network, and it reaches a destination at, it starts from application layer of host computer or destination computer and reaches its physical layer. So this is how the communication takes place between 2 computers. One is host computer, one is destination computer in OSI reference model. Now let us see what are all different functions of that. And here each layer has its own function and it depends on different protocol. So each layer has its own protocols to work with. So here let us see the one by one. One is physical layer. So what is physical layer? It is concerned with transmitting raw bits over a communication channel. In a computer network, What is the reference model? The computer you are connected to the network. So the basic connection, the physical connection from your computer starts with physical layer. So it is the transmitting raw bits over a communication channel. The first layer, physical layer, and data link layer. The main function of data link layer is to enclose and decode raw data from frames or packets. So whatever the data you are sending from host computer to destination, at the host computer, the data is divided into number of frames or number of packets at the data link layer. Next one is network layer. What is a network layer? So this layer determines how the packets are to route from source to destination computer. This layer provides for switching and routing technology. Now all of you have seen in the network, so one computer is connected to another computer through physical link or the connectivity between two different computers. So there may be more than one connection, or there can be more than one path to reach a destination. Similarly, the responsibility of the network layer is to provide the best path from source to destination computer, and through which the data in form of packets are transmitted over network. That is the responsibility of network layer. Next one is transport layer. So this layer is concerned with the actual delivery and error checking in the data once it is arrived. So once the network layer finds the best path to reach a destination, next all the data is moving through the network with the help of transport layer. So here the transport layer responsibility is to make sure the guaranteed delivery of the data at the destination end from host to destination computer. So here it is responsible for actual delivery of the data from host to destination, and also checking the data once it is arrives. Once the data has been reached the destination or arrived at the destination, it makes sure that data is reached the destination in the same format without any changes or without any disturbances. That is the responsibility of transport layer. Next one is session layer. What is session layer? So this layer is responsible to establish a connection between communication machines or devices. So before transmitting a data, a session has to be established between host computer and to a destination computer. So here, first once the session has been established, then only transmit the data from host to destination. And a very good example is your landline or mobile communication. Through landline, when you are going to call some other number, so first once if you dial the number through landline, it's going to ring at the destination end. So once at the destination phone or the devices, once the receiver he picks up the phone, then connection will be established. Then only you could be able to transmit data or you can communicate each other once the connection has been established. That is called a session has been established. That is the example for this. So here before transmitting the data from host to end destination computer, a session has to be established between two. That is the responsibility of session layer. Next one is presentation layer. This layer is concerned with the syntax and semantic of the data that is transmitted. It is also called as syntax error. So the presentation layer going to cover the data or in the form of security, or is going to check for the syntax and semantics of the layer or the protocol. So this presentation layer, it looks for a particular format and in the transmission of data, that is presentation layer. Application layer, this layer provides access to various network services, and this layer contains variety of protocols like HTTP and FTP. So here once the data has reached the destination at the application layer, so through application programs, it is possible for us to access the data in the network, that is through application layer. So application layer helps us to access the data received from the host at the destination end through different applications, programs, through different protocols in application layer. See, these are all different functions of OSI reference model, and it is a 7-layer model, and all the layers of the models will be having its own responsibility and functions, and each layer works with different protocols in a network. So this is OSI reference model. Next one is TCP/IP. So what is TCP/IP? The full form is Transmission Control Protocol and Internet Protocol. So this is TCP/IP protocol, or we say TCP/IP network. TCP/IP, there are two parts. One is TCP, Transmission Control Protocol, and IP stands for Internet Protocol. So it is the base communication protocol of the internet. So nowadays we are using internet. It is based on TCP/IP protocol. The part of TCP/IP uses numeric address that is called IP address. In TCP/IP, the IP stands for Internet Protocol. So it is a numeric IP address to join the network segments, and TCP of TCP/IP, it provides reliable delivery messages between network computers. As we have seen the function of transport layer in the previous OSI reference model, and here a TCP, it is a protocol. It provides a guaranteed delivery of data from host to destination computer. That is the responsible of TCP protocol. And IP protocol or Internet Protocol, it is nothing but an address of a computer in a computer network. It is a numeric address. This is TCP/IP. Now, when the information is sent on the internet, it is generally broken into smaller pieces called packets. And these packets are transmitted by different routes, then reassembled at the destination end. How the communication takes place through TCP/IP here are in the network. Say first data, the raw data will be broken down into number of packets, and each packets are numbered in the system. So the data is transmitted through the networks packet by packets, and which are numbered, and the destination end at the destination computer, these packets are reassembled in the same format or in a sequence to form a meaningful data. So that is the responsibility of TCP protocol. Next one is the TCP part is responsible for dividing the file into packets and putting them in a bag together in correct order and destination computer, and make sure that no packets are lost in the transmission. That is what I have told you in the previous slide. So responsibility of TCP protocol is to make a guaranteed delivery of data at the destination end without any error or without any missing of any packets during transmission of data in the network. Every computer in the network has a unique address known as IP address. So that is what we have seen in the first point. It is a numeric address. So every computer in the network has an IP address that is called numeric address. See, this is the network address or IP address. Every packet sent will contain an IP address of the destination computers. So at the destination computer will be having the IP address of the destination computer. Now IP address is written as 4 decimal number that is called IPv4 and separated by dots. See, this is an example of our IP address. Now we are using IPv6, that is 6 decimal numbers or 6 hexadecimal numbers as well as decimal numbers, that is IPv6. So this is an example of IPv4 version 4 with 4 decimal numbers. So this is IP address. Now this is the example of how we are comparing OSI as well as TCP/IP reference model. So as we have seen in the first slide, this OSI reference model with 7 layers, and TCP/IP model, it is a 4-layer model. So how it is modified? So at present we are using, or in the internet it uses TCP/IP model or network for communication. So here the function of all the 3 layers of OSI will be equivalent to this. So this here, it does all the works of responsibility of this functions of these layers of OSI. And here this is transmission layer and network layer, and this is network access layer. So these are all different layers of TCP/IP network model. It is a 4-layer model, and it was OSI reference model. It was the old model or the first model of networking where it has different 7 layers or 7-layer protocol. And even here also today we are using the TCP/IP networking. Student, in this session we have discussed about different network models, that is OSI reference model and TCP/IP network model, and the ARPANET. ARPANET, it was the first network in the world for communication, then OSI reference model, then TCP/IP network model. At present, we are using the TCP/IP network model for communication. Now, let us continue our discussion in my next session. Thank you so much.